Hello all, welcome to Ayursh. In the previous video, we saw how to create a new entry for your patients in your clinic and make a booking. And once you make a booking, the same booking details come to therapist partner app as well, which therapist can see and take it forward to the completed status. So we have made a booking for 16th of December for Ayush Sarvanga Abhyanga, that is also called Ayush Jivottama. So this is how you see the booking detail page. We made two different therapy, Ayush Jivottama and Ayush Mukhakanti, each with 60 minutes, that is on the top. And the first session is completed, and out of the 16,000 payment, 8,000 is paid. That's what is mentioned here. And it is scheduled for 16, 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Below you can see the medicines details which we entered, like a kotamchaka, the oil, and the high pressure. For every session, once therapist start the treatment, if they want to record some of the vitals of the patients like their bp, their temperature, and the oil that is used for the treatment, or any churnam or any other parameter that they want to record, they can use this uploading of an image option. Below you can see help alarm and the rate feedback for every session. Even therapist can share their feedback on the patient or any other improvements that they can share here. You can see view all sessions. So as you know, it is a 6 session package, of which the first session is completed for 16th and the second session is planned for 17th, which is upcoming. And so below which you will see the patient details, the patient name, the age, and their address, and the commission details. So the commission details is something which is not used as of now, so you can ignore it. So from here, if you click the 17th, it will take you to the 17th date of treatment. So as you can see here, for 17th, it is on the top right, 2 of 6 session, and which is in upcoming state. So the previous session 16th was on 1 of 6 and 17th is now 2 of 6. You can just go back. Here also you can change the calendar date to 17. You will see it is in upcoming status. So there is one gray tick mark that you can see here. This gray tick mark is for the therapist. What happens is, sometime we would have assigned some treatment from our system and therapist would have received along with a notification. But we also want a double confirmation from the therapist that they have seen this therapy at this time and they will take it and drive the treatment now onwards, so that we don't need to be behind them asking like, okay, there is a treatment assigned for you, you need to do it. So as long as they click a green button, it will be a pop-up asking, are you sure you want to accept the therapy? Once they accept it, it will change to green color. This notification you can also see in the Clinos portal. If you are a clinic owner or a doctor, you can see like, okay, this therapist has accepted this treatment. Every therapist, every time when they see a new treatment, this is one of the mandatory steps that the therapist has to follow to accept the treatment. Now the second step, once they, before they start the treatment, it can be either in your clinic, or if you send your therapist to the patient home, before starting of the treatment, it is important for them to update which oil that they are using for the therapy, or which medicine that they are using. So remotely, anything that they upload here, a clinic owner or a doctor can see the image details in the Clinos portal. So that way you can also track the quality of the medicine used by your therapist. So for now, I'm just recording a sample image. It will open up a camera like this. So let's just upload some image. Okay. So now this is the second step that a therapist has to do. The first is to click on a tick mark and the second is to upload an oil. Once these two things are done, they can send an OTP for user. So the idea here is, we sitting remotely, let's say, or you or a clinic owner or a doctor sitting remotely want to know if the therapist has started the treatment, be it in your clinic or at the patient's home. They can always record it within OTP system. So they have to capture two times the OTP. The first is before starting the treatment, that is a start OTP. The next is after finishing the treatment, that is an end OTP. So they have to first click send OTP for user. Now at this time, an OTP would have been sent to the patient's phone. Then they have to click a start service and enter the OTP. So this OTP, will just enter. So once this is done, you can see on the top right, the status of this treatment changed from upcoming to ongoing, which means the treatment is started, which you can remotely track as well. So now you can also see the second option changed from start service to end service. So, so now the therapist can start the treatment with the patient. This is exactly the time which you can see in the Clinos portal. After finishing the treatment, the therapist has to resend an OTP, and this will be an end OTP. Sorry, it is not resend. Just a minute. It is like send OTP for user, and that time it is an end OTP. They again have to click on end service and enter an OTP to end the service. Then the status will change to completed. Let's do that now. And before that, if at all, let's say you are sending your therapist to the patient home, and they do not know where is the location of the patient, and they want to reach the patient to connect with them to understand the place, the therapist can also directly call the patient from the therapist app with the green color calling button. So now let's end the service. So now if you come to the top, you can see a treatment is completed. So this is how you can also go back and see. Now you can see the 17th date treatment is also completed. So this is a cycle of how a treatment is assigned to the therapist in therapist app, and what all the steps that they need to follow to complete it. I will conclude it by restating what I mentioned. The first step is for the user to click this gray color tick and change it to green color. The second is to upload an image in the oil by actually uploading the correct medicines that they are using for the treatment. The third is to get the start OTP and the end OTP to complete it. So this is how a treatment can be completed. And you at this time, if you can also, if you are a clinic owner or doctor, you can see in Clinos portal the background color of that particular entry would have changed to green, which means it is auto completed. You don't need to manually mark it completed. So we don't need to worry. All you have to do is, if the next session, you can clone it accordingly whenever you want to schedule it to for. There is a one other option. There are some times where you send a therapist to the patient home to collect the cash, because we have a cash on delivery option as well. At those time, the therapist can use this cash received button, and how much ever they have received, they can just save it, and it will just come as a cash received 1,000 rupees. That is about how a booking is managed in the therapist app. See you in the next video.